I understand complaining. Yeah. Often I'd be a bit like, come on, you know, we don't need all this. You can just sort of shrug your shoulders. But with the, I mean, I feel like Real will feel like they've had hard lines. I could see Real's complaint, and it's very rare to even say that. Their complaint was, can we just go back to where we were then, please? I thought that was quite interesting as well. So, yeah, they end up in a situation where this is the way in which it's going to go. This is where we are now. This is where we find ourselves. So, John, who do you want?
Salzburg. I've got in my head Salzburg. I've decided on Salzburg, and that would be really nice, but we shall see. We'll see what happens.
In terms of administrative incompetence, are you impressed? Are you pleased? Do you think it works? What's your outlook on it?
In terms of...
But the UEFA stuff?
I think it's just a reminder that everyone everywhere is just people doing the jobs and sort of, you know, seeing what happens. But I think, you know... It is. I mean, it shouldn't really happen, really. But, you know, I mean, they had a dinner to think about probably at some point, you know what I mean? Did you think they've been pulled out of a dinner?
I'd like to think there was a big afternoon planned.
Yeah.
I also think that we've started this off the basis of the fact that we feel as though they're going to start it bang on 2, and it's now 2:01.
Yeah.
And I think there's a fighting chance they're not going to start it bang
on 2. Is our visual working, by the way? I was talking about incompetence.
I've not pressed play yet.
Right, okay.
If I press play, it's there. Don't be worried about that at all. It's all there for us if I press play on that. I think I think first and foremost, I think it's absolutely fine if you're Man United to be annoyed. I think it's fine if you're Real Madrid to be annoyed. I think it's fine to be annoyed if you're Liverpool. I think all the clubs can be annoyed here. I'm not going to say the thing that I sometimes say about this, that I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. I am actually not surprised it doesn't happen more often.
Yeah.
What I would say is that little bit of faff of where you draw a team and then you can't put them in, it does add, as we've literally seen, it does add the foil for that to end up being a...
Well, you realise how complicated it is when you try and explain it to someone else.
Yeah.
And so I was, you know, my wife's sort of not really into football, and so she was asking me about the draw, and I was saying about all the permutations, and you're speaking for much longer than you feel like you should be.
Yeah.
About the last 16. But
wasn't tombola.
Yeah, so you are sort of talking for much longer, and then someone says to you, well, why don't they just throw everyone in and draw them out? And you haven't got a brilliant answer to it, to be honest with you. A lot to be said for the FA Cup draw. All the people are in there, and you just draw them out, and there we go. But it's obviously different, and we sort of know why, and I think it's largely for the best. But obviously these situations sort of throw themselves out there, and we're having to sort of do it again. So it's mildly embarrassing for UEFA, but I'm sure they'll move on. I'm sure they'll get over it.
Do you reckon Joe Cole, Michael Owen, I'll get an hourly rate? Do you know what I mean? Like, they're absolutely delighted here, double.
Well, maybe they had other things on as well, though. Do you know what I mean? Joe Cole was going to do his Christmas shopping. He'd sorted his day out.
Yeah. Michael Owen was almost certainly going to either do something to do with golf or horse racing.
Yeah, exactly.
Stunned if not either of those two. Not watching a film.
No, Christmas film's none of his business.
No.
Yeah, so they probably had plans as well, but here they are. I mean, they will have had to sort of kill some time, I would say, if they've sort of remained on throughout this. So, I don't know. He's won one, hasn't he? Maybe they asked him about that.
I don't think they asked him about that enough, to be honest with you. I don't think they asked him about that enough. There's loads and loads of, obviously, permutations that we've been chatting about all the way through. We've seen the way in which it's going to go. I think the thing... In my tempting fate thing, the thing I worry about ever so slightly now is getting a Paris Saint-Germain. And not if the draw had just happened normally, when you got Paris Saint-Germain, I'd have bounced onto shows and gone, well, we'll batter them.
Yeah.
And we'll go and do the business. Now it feels a little bit like, and Liverpool won't tolerate it, but in the back of your mind, you are just worried. Someone, it will end up with a hard luck story. And we're one of the teams that's in position here for a bit of a hard luck story, both in terms of the literal draw itself and then possibly how the game goes. You wouldn't want to feel as though if it hadn't been for X or Y.
Yeah, I think that's fair actually, Neil, and I think that is something to think about really, that you want to feel like things are going for you, and in a season where you win things, everyone needs a little bit of luck. You can be the best team, and I think look, this team's phenomenal, isn't it? But you need certain things to sort of go for you, along the way. United win a treble, but if Bergkamp sticks that penalty away or whatever, or different things happen in the final.
Sorry, Sam, again.
I feel like we're really picking on Arsenal tonight.
Sorry, Sam.
This afternoon. Or better example, Bayern don't hit the bar 3 times or something, and sort of one of them sort of bounces in instead. It's obviously very different. So no matter how good you are, you need a little bit of luck on the way, and so I think I agree with you, Neil. I think this team can beat any of the teams in the hat and will be favourites too, and I will back too. But just suddenly getting a harder draw, maybe just gets into the players' heads a bit about the coaching staff. Oh, is this going to be a season where things are sort of going against us a little bit at key times and at key moments? So you don't want any of that sort of keeping in. So Salzburg are going to be brilliant.
Salzburg are going to be absolutely. I mean, the funniest outcome is it literally is the same.
Yeah,
that is by some distance that I haven't contemplated. So I wouldn't mind Chelsea or City getting harder games. Don't get me wrong. I'd be pleased with that from the idea of being distracted. But the funniest outcome is that. It's happening now, is it, John?
Yeah, it is happening. I thought it was Claudio Ranieri, sorry. Yeah, it's Manchetti. He's the UEFA Deputy General Secretary. He's by the Cup. Do you think they've shined it again?
There's been loads of people working at it. I think that these aren't the sort of, like, if this was me and you, we'd have a really tight five on how we fucked this up the first time around. There'd be loads of laughs. People would really get into it.
I mean, yeah, it's the best way to be in these situations.
I'd go full Eric Morecambe.
He doesn't look like he's doing jokes,
No, he doesn't. I'd go full Eric Morecambe. A little bit of Tommy Cooper. You know what I mean? All the references for the teenagers in the YouTube.
I'd get a big ladder on my shoulders and spin it around.
Yeah.
Do some of that.
I'd repeatedly duck.
Yeah. Maybe that Laurel and Hardy style. Yeah. Or whoever.
The plank. all the hits, as I say. If you're looking for references from the 1960s and 1970s, we are the people for them all the way through here. This draw still hasn't started. The one thing I would also do is I would be all about brevity as well.
Well, I'm shocked. I thought it'd be done by now, to be honest with you. And he's still doing a big sorry, or maybe he's explaining all the rules again. I don't know. Yeah, they're going to say who's redrawn. You've done this, lads. There's really no need.
Yeah, very much been done, and you can go from there on it. Okay. Do you want to read the teams out, John?
City, Liverpool, Ajax, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Manchester United, LOSC, Lille, which feels like a new thing that Lille have brought in.
Yeah.
And I missed the last one because I was making LOSC points. I think it was Chelsea. No, Chelsea are there to come second. Paris, Atletico Madrid, Juventus, thank you. Sporting, Inter Milan, Benfica, Villarreal and Salzburg. Obviously, there's 2 of those that Liverpool can't get, 6 that we can. Yeah,
I think, by the way, we all need to bear this in mind whenever we're talking about the idea that draws are a bit bent, because they couldn't do a proper one. So let's bear that in mind, that they haven't got that capability. So let's always remember that from now on.
Yeah, you won't fake a wrong draw.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
That is a good point.
Who's the first team, John?
It's Salzburg. Right, come on
Liverpool.
Come on Liverpool.
This is what we want.
Do it for the content. Do it for Ghosty, lads.
Yeah, do it for
600 words.
I mean, would we restart the thing? Would we do the show again at the start of the Anfield Wrap for free?
I mean, there's a debate to be had. Let's see.
Let's see as it comes out here.
They can get 7.
So they can't get Lille. Salzburg cannot get Lille.
In the same group, yeah.
Yeah. I think everyone's being very deliberate at this point. Very, very, very deliberate. Our Shavin there looks shamefaced. He really does. He's not shushing anyone now, is he, John? It's as he's, he looks like a man who's been told the importance of this and that procedure will work this time around. So who are we going to get? They are swilling them around, and it is Andre Arshavin. He does have a little bit of a smile on his face. I mean, it's footy, for God's sake. Let's bear that in mind.
Yeah, we'll all be fine. That's not Liverpool.
It's
Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich gets Salzburg straight out the gate. Bayern Munich, John, absolutely overjoyed by this turn of events.
Yeah, they've done well, haven't they? More than a club, Bayern. They've had it upheld. So the opposite of Mercedes yesterday.
Yeah, they've had an excellent redraw Bayern Munich here so far.
And if any of the journalists want to get in touch with us, I'm sure they'll share the work.
Absolutely. The Munich crew.
Sporting.
Portugal. Sporting.
This one to be all right. For Liverpool.
Yeah. And they can get Man City, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Manchester United, Lille or Juventus. So there are 3 English clubs that they can get, or they can get Madrid, Lille and Juventus. It's mad United finished top of the group, by the way. Like, it's really weird. United finished top of the group and Chelsea didn't.
Yeah, considering how they started.
Chelsea were through all the way. It felt like United, they couldn't play footy. But, it's been on my mind that, to be honest with you.
Well, everything was possible in that last game. I think they could have finished any place, United, going into that last one there, but ended up top. Yeah. And there we are.
It's all swirling it around. So we've got Arshavin. He's doing the little thing. He's going to unfold it. This is a man talking about something another man's doing. Manchester City gets Sporting. All right then.
So not us.
Not us. Who did City get the first time?
Can't remember.
It wasn't anyone that hard, I don't think. So it wasn't someone who looked rock hard at that point. Someone will tell me Villarreal. They got Villarreal.
Okay.
I think they'd have murdered Villarreal, to be honest with you, over 2 legs. The next one is Benfica. Now then, feels like these are coming out in reverse order in some sort of way here, John. Liverpool supporters desperate to go to Portugal, not least because of the weather.
So they can get everyone.
They can get everyone who's left. So it's a 1 in 6 chance. Liverpool, Ajax, Real Madrid, Manchester United, or Lille.
There's a lot of people on, isn't there?
There is a lot of people on. Do this every morning, Talking Red. It's really good. Do check it out. Andre Arshavin is still looking vaguely and I don't mean this like I don't like it as a pejorative, to be honest with you, but he does have the mouth of a particularly niche muppet.
He's just shitting himself, I think. He's just absolutely shitting himself.
Yeah, like Beaker or something.
His hands are all over the place. He can't get that thing open.
Not one of the bigger ones.
He's not doing this again.
He's not. No, he's
That's
terrified.
not Liverpool. It's Ajax.
It's Ajax. Oh my word. Okay. Right then.
So Liverpool are getting into tougher draw territory.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very, very much so. Okay, so Benfica versus Ajax, a.k.a. the game where everyone wants the winners of them in our state. Although Ajax might be all right.
Well, they got 18 points, didn't they? Which is interesting from the group.
Ajax might be all right. The next one is Chelsea FC. So we cannot get Chelsea. We can't get Atletico either. Hang on.
So it's PSG or...
Villarreal.
Yeah.
I think that we can get PSG or Villarreal at this point are the only two we can get.
I was Inter as well.
And there's Inter, okay.
So one of them three.
Yeah, okay. We've got...
Villarreal brings Benidorm into play, by the way, I'm just saying.
Does it?
Yeah, and Salou, if you prefer.
Okay.
If you're more Salou inclined.
Which one would you describe? And I know that this could be like the difference between 1 out of 10 and 2 out of 10 as classier.
I'd say Salou, marginally.
Marginally, okay.
Yeah. Because there's less of my mates there.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's worth bearing in mind.
Who have Chelsea got here?
Chelsea have got, they're not really relevant, are they, in this? Lille.
Oh, lovely.
That's what they got last time, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they got Lille last time, so they've ended up frozen. So that's not different at all. The kickoffs are going to be really, really funny. The comments are just people guessing at stuff all the way through, which is fine, by the way. I mean, what else are we doing here?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I did the tweet this morning. Who do you think we're going to get? It's just guessing, but it's fun to guess.
Atletico Madrid, so we can't get them either.
Okay.
So Atletico Madrid are gone. We cannot get them either.
So they can't get Real. So
no, they can't get Real. Basically, it's United or Juventus that they can get, and
whoever it is going to be cross.
Yeah, whoever it is not going to be. Well, United did get Paris Saint-Germain, so I think that they'll probably trade. They probably deal on this.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the two things are spinning as they're going all the way around there. Andre Arshavin looking away, and he's going to pick one of the balls. He doesn't know which one is which. Right now in a sporting sense, I would take going back to the San Siro.
Presumably they're not as good as the team we've just beat twice, because they're below them in the table.
That's what you would have thought. Manchester United have got Atletico Madrid, which feels like a long couple of games for both sides. I'd rather not have had that. But anyway. Because I think anyone will beat United. But anyway, let's sort of see where we end up.
Oh.
Okay, the next one is...
Villarreal. Right, come on, Andre.
So this is the easier of the remaining games from a Liverpool point of view. But why can't we get Villarreal?
Oh, I don't know. That feels like a mistake. Can we complain? So they've got to get Juventus. It must be because something else gets left in a certain way or something.
That makes no sense to me. Why can't we get Villarreal? In the comments, can anyone let me know?
It must be because if it'll leave them with something else. It'll basically leave them with something else.
Of course, yeah, because then they'd only be able to get Real Madrid, and they can't get Real Madrid. Therefore, okay. Yeah. Okay, I think I understand that just about around all the houses there. I think there'll be something. There's something in that. Real Madrid's within Inter's group, so we're going to get into Milan. I think we logically have to get into Milan because Real Madrid can't get into Milan, so only we can get into Milan.
Well, it is into Milan, and we'll see it confirmed by the boys.
I feel like I've just done verbal reasoning there.
Yeah, well, you've got it. Yeah, you've worked it out. Akko's worked it out already. You'll show you. Yeah,
I'll do me work into like on countdown. So we've got into Milan, John. Italian champions. It's harder than Salzburg. It's not as difficult as Paris Saint-Germain. Back to Milan. I like how everyone went to Milan and came back and went, it's all right, isn't it? Which is the response to Milan.
Yeah, it's a draw that Liverpool should go through. I think the Paris one, although I think we'd have beaten Paris, would have felt like, like we were saying before, there's a bit of a, we've now ended up with the toughest one on the region.
Real Madrid have got Paris Saint-Germain, by the way. They're gonna go fucking ballistic.
Of course. Yeah, that has happened. Yeah.
That's really funny because they got Benfica the first time around and they did say, can we just start the draw from that point? And I do think they had a fair argument.
Are you saying there's a chance we might have another one at 5?
We can't have another one at 5. We cannot have another one at 5. I'm not.
There's nearly 1,000 people online, maybe it'd be good. Aaron's rubbing his hands.
Subscribe to the Anfield Wrap, theanfieldwrap.com/subscribe for all the reaction you need to the draw at 5 o'clock. For whichever way it goes at this point. Okay, we've got into Milan then. It's been mad.
Yeah.
It's been a reminder that everyone can get things wrong from time to time. It's been fucking chaotic morning, frankly. You know, between the COVID and all the other stuff going on. Is the app working? It probably will break in a minute. To be honest with you. Yeah, so head's absolutely pounding. I've got to go on my Friday show. We've got to go and do a new intro to the show. Might do some research on Inter Milan. Hope you've enjoyed this little live as it was. We're still going to win the European Cup, aren't we?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Don't worry about that.
That's the bit done. That's all the bit that matters. Up the Reds.